Hello YouTube. We are here today with Martin. Got 4th place at the OTS Championship in, where was it? 5th place, sorry.
Newton
Where?
Abbot.
Newton Abbot.
Yesterday.
Nice. Very nice.
Playing P.U.N.K.
P.U.N.K. Lovely.
I pretty much just took packs list, card for card, deck ran really well, and then managed to just. I was XO for the first 3 rounds, lost the 4th round unfortunately, but then managed to win the last round, so that scraped me in at 5th place.
Amazing. Really well done.
Deck is 43 cards.
43 cards. Lovely.
Yeah, I'll get into it.
Yeah, get into it. Let's have a look.
Just playing 1 Shirakusai for the fusion, 2 Dear Note. This is more, I felt, for if you banish it off Gizmic. I still had another copy. The starter, which is a Armin, so it's pretty much any punk.
Lovely.
And then the 8 Ogre Dance, 3 of those, 3 Foxy Tune for the punk package, and then away from the punk package.
Would you change anything about the package, or would you keep the ratios as is?
I don't think so. Like, you could argue another Dear Note just because with Gizmic you're banishing 8 at a time, and you do risk maybe losing another one for later in the game when you're sort of struggling for resources if it goes that far.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Other than that, it was pretty decent.
Great.
I was playing Shinobi Necro as my tuners.
Spicy.
So obviously when you do your combo and you link off with it with Gizmic, you can then banish it with Chaos Ruler, and because it's banished it'll come back.
Yeah.
Gives you your board to make Calamity.
Nice.
And then probably one of the best cards in the deck, Gizmic.
Gizmic.
Just activated during your opponent's end phase, get on board, you can then pop cards if you want to with it. It's a constant threat because although the card's 43, you can summon this quite a lot, banishing 8 and not really hinder yourself.
Yeah. That's really cool. Did you ever find that you banished stuff that you needed and stuff, or were the ratios good enough to stop that from
Yesterday
happening?
I didn't banish like too much. Today we went to Melksham and I did play 1 game where I banished way too much.
Oh shit.
And I was winning on the game and I had to scoop because I just ran out of resources.
Yeah, makes sense.
The deck plays a lot of hand traps, which do make it really interesting. So 3 Vader, most of them are tuners, 3 Ogre, 3 Ash, 3 Nib, Gamma package, and then Imperm.
Blimey.
So this meant going first, I was able to set up my board and then stop my opponent from doing anything. Or if for whatever reason I need to summon like a Ghost Ogre, I could combo through, and then if I lost a die roll, I was like guaranteed to open 1 hand trap bare minimum, sometimes 2. There was one occasion where I bricked into Oblivion and just opened 4 hand traps and like Shinobi.
Wow.
Just didn't do anything. I could stop my opponent, but I just kept drawing hand traps, and that was the one occasion where it hindered me a little, but I wouldn't change it.
Nice.
And then it plays a very small spell lineup. Foolish to dump Gizmic, Prosperity to search the cards you need to set up your board, or if you haven't drew into like any punk for whatever reason, or if you haven't drew into E-Tele, which is free starter, so you don't waste your normal summon.
Makes sense.
Again, I wouldn't change very much. I mean, this didn't come up a lot because I was constantly milling the Gizmic through part of my extra deck. But other than that, it was still a really good card.
Nice.
I'll go into the side deck.
Yeah.
Side deck, again, it's all the same. DD Crow, decided this in a couple of times. It came in clutch against someone that was trying to Cyclop me, and I had this in hand, so I was ready for that.
Great.
Roll. I only played 1 time where this came in. I was at Ignister. Because they seem to add quite a lot, so it made sense to put this in.
Interesting.
other than that, I didn't see anything like dry tone or anything wild like that. Like just constantly adding. So thank you very much.
Would you change it then for the future if you only studied it in once, or would you still keep it in?
I'd still keep it in because like the times you come up against those decks where they are constantly adding, like this is an absolute must in the main deck.
Yeah.
One cool buy. I barely sided this in. It just didn't come up very much because of the hand traps I'm playing. I'm stopping mostly everything my opponent does.
Yeah.
Which means that they're not really doing much to me. One very good card I did play was Eradicator.
Nice.
This is very good against Striker, back row decks. You just blew everything up. And
Yeah. Despia as well.
yeah, struggle to play around it, along with Anti-Spell. Again, stopping any spell-based decks, Drytron, Despia.
Yeah.
I did put it in against the Outnixter guy again. And then lastly was the Dim Barrier, so Sword Soul, Despia, anything that's focusing on a certain part of the extra deck to build their board.
Perfect.
And then extra deck, I've changed the extra deck since yesterday, just because of how certain things played out.
Okay.
So, Exceeds, I'm on Ding, never made it. This thing never really came up. The fact that you can do it 3 times in a turn to burn for up to 24 and draw 3 cards.
Nice. So good for time.
Zeus is Zeus.
Yeah.
And Zombie Vampire, make this quite a bit. I was also playing Hope Harbinger, but I only made it once yesterday, which then changed my deck list going into today.
Yeah.
And I'll show what I swapped it out for. In terms of links, very few. Hulk for the combo. Lambda because it's generic and then it doesn't make your Gamma dead. Rising card, this was if like you didn't, like you Zayamin got negated, or like you retailing into Zayamin and you have like Share Kuzai in hand and the Zayamin effect got negated, so just made this, tribute it out and get the Zayamin and Dino out so you can still go into Chaos Ruler and combo off.
Nice.
And then the rest of it is all synchros. Most of it's the same as packs, so Cheng Ying, this was really good against that Ignister, making this go up to like 51, they just couldn't out it. Chaos Ruler, part of the combo, mill 5, add 1.
Strong card.
Formula, part of the combo. Calamity, stops your opponent doing anything when you summon it.
Yeah.
Baron, the Omni Negate. Psych again, if your life points are lower, it's unaffected, so players will struggle to out this if they can't make their life points lower. Rising Car, this is number 11. I didn't really go into this that much. And then Pat was playing the Dark Charmer, but he said he didn't go into that much, so I thought I'd change it. And then I changed it slightly for today. It was the Dark Charmer, but then I put in Circular Tenyi, because there were times where yesterday I was like, oh, I could do with another single 8, but I didn't have one, so I thought today I'll put one in. I didn't make it. There was one occasion where it came up, but I got stopped along the way. So.
Yeah. But it was nice to have.
Yeah.
Would you change any of that going forward?
I didn't think so. Like, it's still really solid. Like, I didn't make this very much, but I still think it's really good generically too.
Yeah.
And the same with like these. Like, I never went into any of these 3, but I think the fact that I can go into them if I need to or want to, and feel the situation necessary, then it's there.
Makes sense.
But yeah, it's a really good event. There's only 5 rounds. There's only 23 of us, but it's probably like my first sort of top in a long time, if you like.
Yeah. Oh,
so
nice.
yeah, it was really good.
Lovely. Well done. Any shout outs to give?
Yeah, shout outs to the teams, Team Hommyballs,
Woo!
some of the squad of them.
Woo! Squad.
And shout out to the Games Bunker.
Yeah, Games Bunker. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Martin, and hope to see you get more tops very soon.
Cheers.
Bye.